What's up? You're watching Cheap Seats. I'm Riley. That's Graydon. And today we're doing our Week 3 Power Rankings. Our rankings come at the end of the video. So before that, let's talk about some of the fun storylines from this week.
Such a fun week of football, man. Super fun.
I went 7-9.
I went 6-10, and my team is in shambles.
Oh, the Browns. Okay, yeah. I was going to say.
My team's in shambles.
Yeah, absolutely.
I lost in fantasy.
Uh-huh.
The Browns look like an absolute disaster, but let's talk about some other games, so maybe I can forget about it for a second.
I won in fantasy, and I think 7-9 is pretty good for this week.
Yeah.
It was hard to predict.
It's an insane week.
All right, first of all, is Aaron Rodgers back?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he ever went anywhere. His Achilles just popped, and everybody starts talking crazy about him because he's so red-pilled.
Uh-huh.
But look, he throws a pretty ball.
He throws a pretty ball, but everybody's always known that. It's just he was moving, he got tackled, he was fine.
Yeah.
Like, that inspired some confidence. And the Patriots did kind of return to the pumpkin.
The Patriots suck.
Yeah, everybody got like a little too hyped on them because they beat the Bengals.
So did me.
Yeah, I thought they were good. I picked them. I picked them to win that game. And then now we saw them play and we're like, oh, that's that. Yeah, the Patriots suck.
Yeah, I think more so return to form for the Jets defense. That's always going to be their calling card. The emergence of Braylon Allen. Shout out Braylon Edwards. I miss you, baby. Braylon Allen this is great when you have a stud running back. Breece Hall, this is going to take away from some of his carries, but it's going to ensure his longevity through the season.
I agree,
which is huge. And then you can turn him into the 30 carry back if you need to at the end of the season.
And the backfield is just so fun. When you have the oldest player in the league handing it off to the youngest player in the league, that's sick. Just a cool story.
Yeah, that's sick.
Second storyline, how about Andy Dalton making Bryce Young look like a bitch?
Andy Dalton is electric. I believe, did I call it on air that the savvy vet was going to come out and link up with the old savvy vet, Adam Thielen? He did explode Adam Thielen's hamstring, making him bid for that touchdown. Could have been a bit of a better ball. Could have saved your boy there. But he unlocked Deontay Johnson. He unlocked him. He unlocked an offense that no one even knew was there.
Right.
And he threw for 3 touchdowns the first half. Is great to see. I'm excited for. This is a bit of a preview. Bengals going to Carolina next week.
I love that.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for that game.
Because also Andy Dalton was drafted by the Bengals.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a cool story.
Yeah, he's going to be in the Bengals like Hall of Fame. Like they love that guy. Like he did a lot there. He won playoff games. Like, I'm stoked for that game.
Yeah, the Bengals jerseys are actually orange because of Andy Dalton's hair.
Yes.
Next, Malik Neighbors is a freak.
Yeah, Malik Neighbors is really, really, really good. That 360 toe tap touchdown, that's something like a Devontae Adams, like a 10-year vet does. And to do that as a rookie, fresh out of college where you only need 1 foot, to have the wherewithal to do that is like a guy who's in his mind been playing in the NFL for 10 years already.
Yeah, and it was an interesting thing because I said if Denzel Ward can shut down Malik Neighbors, and all they did is just game plan to get Malik away from Denzel Ward so that he could make plays like he did, and that's all they needed to do to beat the Browns, which is messed up. But also, I like the storyline. It's an interesting one that is he accidentally extending Daniel Jones' tenure over there?
Yeah, I mean, but they paid him that much money. They extended his tenure, and all you can hope for, I mean, the Browns are in a somewhat similar situation where, like, if Deshaun plays a couple good games, that only extends his tenure. And, like, they're just paying Daniel Jones so much money, so you just have to hope he's all right in the meantime.
Deshaun looked bad last year, and they were 5-1 with him on the field.
Right.
And so it's kind of the same thing. The weapons or the defense, whatever it is, can extend the quarterback's tenure there, but the quarterback's making the most money.
Right.
And so you want Daniel Jones to look serviceable.
Yes.
You want to win games.
Of course.
You know?
Yep.
How about Justin Herbert is out because TJ Watt paid Joe Alt dirty money to give up a sack?
Interesting. I have not heard this conspiracy yet.
Oh, yeah.
But I think TJ Watt could get a sack against the Great Wall of China.
Yeah.
And I know Joe Alt looks like kind of the future Hoffer that we think he is. He's a heifer that's going to the Hoff.
Yeah.
TJ Watt can do that against anybody. TJ Watt has made the best of the best look bad, and Joe Alt is going to... He's going to get beat a lot of times by great guys. And
I saw so many people just saying, like, Joe Alt's bid for Offensive Rookie of the Year is over. He can't give up that. I'm like, it's his 3rd game in the NFL against the best player. That's TJ Watt is literally on the short list for MVP candidate right now. not just defensive player of the year. So I don't blame Joe Alt for that.
No, not at all.
One blown up play.
And Justin Herbert's made of glass, and we've known this.
Yeah.
Like he's an
They shouldn't have played him in that game. He was questionable.
That's what I thought,
shouldn't
too.
have played him.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about Bo Nix with a crazy stat line? No sacks, no interceptions, rushed for 45-plus yards, rushing touchdown, and 69% completion percentage with 25-plus passes.
Only time that stat line has ever occurred, not only for rookies.
Ever in the NFL.
We were talking about it a little yesterday. It is one of those bloated, grab 16 things and put them together, and then it's the first time it's ever happened. But all of these stats are really good, and they have to do with him playing well. And not taking a sack is such like a veteran thing too. We saw this week with vets, specifically with Deshaun Watson. And Baker Mayfield. Yeah, Baker Mayfield. It's a terrible thing. You can't always blame your bad line. And the best thing you can do is get rid of the ball or escape the pocket and go forward instead of trying to extend a play that's hopeless and take a sack.
And especially like because you have that highlight play of Bo Nix escaping twice and rushing for that first down, that was like, I saw that and was like, oh, this kid's going to be all right.
Yeah.
You know?
And you were high on him in the beginning of the season. That team is really, really bad. He's going to have great moments, and I just hope he makes it through the season healthy and like continues to have some good games like this. Because that was sick to see. To go on the road in Tampa, who was steaming hot, fresh off a Detroit win, they kicked ass.
Absolutely. They looked great. Bucs O-line is fourth graders, and their defense is in the hospital.
Yeah,
I wrote that down.
That's not even really, I don't know if they're fourth graders, but they got messed up by some not so good guys.
And also, it's second week in a row that Baker's gotten sacked over 5 times. Yeah. It's like you can't have that happening.
And then he was really forcing the issue downfield.
Yeah,
and that turned into a couple sloppy picks, and that's kind of the Baker we all know kind of deal. He was playing this flawless brand of football, and everybody was like, "Oh, he might have fixed all those boo-boos," but it's like Baker's known to do that when shit goes south. He's gonna chuck a couple deep and just. Mike Evans is down there somewhere, like kind of deal.
Right. And then are the Titans going to bench Will Levis? Kind of a Bryce Young situation.
And put in who? Malik Willis?
They don't have him anymore.
Exactly. Big boo-boo on their part.
Who is their backup? I don't remember who the Titans have.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, if the Titans' goal this season is to get a high draft pick, which at 0-3 and with a messed up roster and a new coach, you kind of want the new coach to have a top 5 pick next year. Why would you bench the guy that's losing your games perfectly? You're competing enough, you're doing this and you're still losing. Why bench him and let's say they put in a savvy vet. All of a sudden you win 3 in a row, and the goal isn't to be 7-9.
I kind of feel like it's too early in the season to say you're trying to lose games, especially because the Titans made so many moves in the offseason. I think they went out and got guys thinking we can win this year.
Yeah, but they also drafted Will Levis 2 years ago and traded the other guy they drafted. So it's like, do you believe in your draft pick, or are you trying to win enough games to sneak into the playoffs with a vet quarterback and then maybe miss the playoffs, miss out on a top 5 pick?
I don't know. Yeah.
I say they keep him.
Okay. Now our segment that we do every week, Is It Over? I have 3 teams for Is It Over. Number 1, the Bengals.
Big time. It was over after week 1. We just couldn't see the clear picture.
Okay.
This team is so cocky and bad. Joe Burrow's dyed hair. I'm not going to say what they're saying about him online, but they're saying bad things. Cam.
Can you tell me? I don't know what they're saying about him.
They're saying he's 0-3 since he became a lesbian.
Oh, he does dress like a lesbian, for sure.
Cam Taylor Britt, the cornerback for the Bengals, last week, soundbite, bulletin board material, and it's a college offense. It's a nice college offense. They got fucking cooked. They didn't force a punt. They gave up 5 touchdowns, 7 touchdowns, something like that.
Can we talk about this game is historical? Yeah. Okay. 80+ years since a game like this has happened. 0 punts, 0 turnovers.
Yeah.
Just saloon door defense going on both sides of the ball.
My sources have 48 years down for that statistic, so we're going to need to fact check that.
I thought it was 1940 since both teams. So Commanders and Bengals, neither team punted the ball, neither team turned the ball over.
Yeah. I mean, it was a great game to watch.
It was fun.
But this Bengals defense, like now with a 3-game sample, is dog shit.
Yeah.
Dog shit. Terry McLaurin came into this game on fraud watch. People were like, he's not the number one Jaden needs. They have no passing offense. And then look at what happened. They got lit up in the passing game, gave up big plays when you couldn't. Like every time, like the 55-yarder to set up the first touchdown, that one to seal the game at the end. They let Jaden just run rampant on him. Like it was really, really, really ugly.
It sucks because I want to say, like, yes, the Bengals defense looks terrible, but the plays that Jaden Daniels was making were like a lot of defenses couldn't. Like he threw that dot to Terry McLaurin. Like that was like the perfect ball. So I'm just kind of like more impressed with Jaden Daniels than I am like, oh, the Bengals are the worst defense in the NFL.
I'm blown away by how bad the Bengals are.
But the Commanders' defense is near as bad.
Yeah, their first 4 games of the season before it started were New England, Chiefs, Washington at home, New England and Washington at home, and then go to Carolina.
They're 0-3.
In every Bengals mind, it's like, oh, we're coming out of September 3-1, right there in the thick of the division, and they're gonna come out of it, I think, 1-4 or 0-4. Sorry,
you think 0-4?
They're gonna lose to Andy Dalton. There's no way they go to Carolina after that and win.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay, I mean that's
I'm putting that pick in early.
All right, yeah, those come out on Thursday, by the way. Yeah. Predictions. All right, second I got the Jags. I mean, 0-3. I thought this was a train wreck season for the Jags.
I think Doug Peterson's seat is steaming hot.
Yeah.
Steaming. Like
you see the meme yesterday that was like Doug Peterson becomes the first NFL head coach to be fired at halftime?
Yeah, literally.
Like it looks bad.
It looks really bad. Getting your ass beat is such a different vibe.
I do think the Bills are maybe the best team in the NFL right now.
Totally.
And so you can look bad against that team, but you got to recontextualize all of these things by how everybody's playing 3 weeks in.
Yeah.
Browns beat the Jags, and I was like, oh, nice. We beat a team that is like people say could make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, we beat maybe the second worst team in football.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
They look really bad. Their defense looks atrocious. Mm-hmm. They got nothing going. This is Trevor's first half of the year or first half of a game where he like struggled to get a first down. It looks bad, and I don't think it's all Trevor's fault. I think it's a lot. This coaching is just a mess. It feels like a total shit show down there, and I'm calling it. I give Doug 2 more weeks.
I could see that.
I think the over-under's on like 2 more weeks. If they're 0-5, he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if he's 1-4, depending on who they beat and how they lose that 5th game, it's over.
I think the fact that their division's been playing poorly helps them stick around, but they look like a really bad team right now.
Coaches don't get that same grace that like $200 million quarterbacks get, though.
That's true.
If they sneak out a win, it doesn't extend Doug. Like if players are unhappy and the numbers are still bad on the field, don't fucking can him.
Yeah. Third, I got the Bears.
The Bears? Is it over? No.
Okay.
No. I think that was Caleb's most promising game. I mean, he broke the rookie passing record for a Bear.
363
yards. He's going to have ugly turnovers, and he really only succeeds in broken plays, which you can't draw up right now. I think the fraud watch is on Eberflus, and that offensive line is as bad as... I mean, it is who we thought they were type deal. I think Eberflus is kind of a fucking moron, which is a storyline we had going into the year, but they ended last year or whatever, and all this promise going in. But, I mean, Rome and Caleb are legit. The defense got ran all over. Jonathan Taylor is one of the best backs in the league, though. You can't really blame him for that. They picked off Anthony Richardson twice, still forced turnovers, but then their quarterback, they just don't have – you can't scheme – you can't be like, all right, everybody lay down and he'll spin around 3 times, run this way, and then you run a triple post and come back to the ball. And
I just think Caleb is taking longer to adjust than we thought.
Totally.
And I do think like it's hard, like, I don't know, it's stat padding in a lot of ways, like 363 yards, but for what?
Yeah.
Like he made some really bad decisions and that O-line collapses pretty much immediately. And the one thing he was really good at in college is evading pressure and making a play.
Yeah.
They called him Mini Mahomes, and he's not doing anything like that in the NFL. And so to me, I just wonder if it's one of those things that if we get to week 8 and it continues to be like this, you have to wonder if it is Caleb unable to function within that offense. Yeah. Even if you got a bad O-line, Like, we've seen quarterbacks make the most of that, and I don't think Caleb's doing that yet.
Right.
I'm not saying it's over for the Bears, but they are not looking like what I thought they might look like this year.
They're 1-2 with a winnable game coming up. So,
yeah,
we'll see. I don't think it's over for them.
Do you have any apologies to make?
Yeah, I got a few. One's...
Yeah, we got the music now. And
this one really hurts.
Okay.
Sorry, Steelers. I'm sorry, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You might have a new legend at center.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the running game not even being as good as everybody thought it would be. Justin Fields has 1 turnover on the whole season. He's kind of unlocked the EPA potential for this team. Pickens is legit. TJ Watt, like you said, is on the short list. I'm not going to go into too much more. The Arthur Smith thing seems fun. It seems like there's an offense.
Good time.
That seems like they're having a good time.
Yeah.
And they're beating the opponents they should. And they have, like, as far as the AFC North goes, they have, like, an identifiable brand of football. Like, even the Ravens in this one win looked like a whole new team. Like, they're kind of reinventing and grasping at straws. And Pittsburgh is kind of just, like, sticking to the plan, and the plan's working. They're 3-0.
They're 3-0, but they haven't played great teams.
No,
yet,
I know, but
so
I apologize.
I'll get to them later for sure. My apologies first goes out to the Panthers. Everybody on the Panthers team. I said Bryce Young was not the problem, and they looked like a professional football team with Andy Dalton. And secondly, I'd like to apologize to Bryce Young. I feel like I might have cursed you or something.
Mm-hmm.
I put some sort of energy out there, and it kind of did like a reverse on me or something. And now I feel like everybody felt bad for you last week. And now everybody doesn't feel bad for you. Everybody's kind of like just talking about how good your team was without you.
Yeah.
And if I was 5'9", I'd be depressed.
Yeah, I'd be 5'8" now.
Yeah, honestly, hang your head. You're 5'8" now.
Yeah.
And you're definitely not going to be able to see over that O-line when you're hanging your head. Or over an O-line because no one's going to put you out behind one. And so those are my apologies. Let's get into the power rankings.
I got one more.
Another apology. Okay.
Just one last quick apology. I think I started the season by calling DK Metcalf a big-time diva, and he sucks, and it was Jackson Smith's year and all this.
Oh, and then he mossed all those folks?
He's gone back-to-back games with 70-plus yards and touchdowns, 70-plus yard touchdowns.
He has 70 plus?
He's got 70 touchdowns.
He's got 70 touchdowns.
He looks like the freak. Gino's game looks unlocked. I was high on the Seahawks, though, so just a personal apology to DK.
Yeah.
Now let's get out of here.
All right. Let's get into your power rankings.
Let's do it. I'm not stoked on these this week. My life's in shambles, like I said. Yeah. All right. Let's do it. Number 10. I got the Atlanta Falcons after a loss. There's something really clicking with this team. After that Philly win, watching Ray McLeod, Darnell Mooney kind of open up that offense and allow the weapons. Kyle Pitts and Bijan still need to do something. There's a lot of excitement around those two Corvettes that aren't really revving at full engine now, but it opens up things for Drake London. We saw that on the early touchdown. I like how Kirk is melding with this team, and I think the defense is pretty solid over there. They held Mahomes to another kind of poor performance, picked him off. He's got the lowest completion percentage in the NFL. I'm going to get to that when I get to the Chiefs in this list. But yeah, I don't know. I like what I'm seeing from the Falcons, and I think they're going to like kind of get to that 4-4, and then they might rip off 5. That's how I'm feeling about them.
Mm-hmm.
Second team, I got the New Jersey Jets. Wow. Yeah. He's back, man. He was spinning that fucker. The Braylon Allen development, the Conklin development in this offense, I think is really special. Aaron has always really thrived when he has that old, reliable tight end. You finally see him hook up with Garrett Wilson on the field. That was great. His first ever touchdown to a first rounder, which is crazy. That was his 480th touchdown, and that was his first one ever to a first round receiver. Wow. Someone should have gave him Calvin Johnson. He'd have 900 touchdowns by now. But yeah, I still love this defense. I hate the coaching staff, and so does Aaron Rodgers, which is fine. He pushed away a Salah hug, which was a great little moment from the weekend. I don't know. I like the momentum here too. These two teams are very similar to me. These are veteran quarterbacks getting chemistry with young guys and a new team. I think they're full steam ahead. Number 8. Yeah. Just it fits. It works. It's working. Congratulations. You still got to, whatever. Hard schedule, blah, blah, blah. Hope it doesn't work out, but I have to acknowledge it because I'm an adult with a show where I have to talk about football and I just can't go the whole year not acknowledging what's going on over there. It's good. So good for y'all. Number 7, Green Bay Packers. This comes straight up on the back of stinky, white, freaky Matt LaFleur. To win 2 games with Malik Willis, to take him down to Tennessee on a bus and let him loose. And he looks, people are ordering Willis jerseys. The Packers look like the best coach team, kind of the best prepared. Jair Alexander looks like an absolute dog. The defense is really, 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 really good. Scary team that gets their first string quarterback back in a couple weeks. Really scary team. Number 6, we got to talk about him now. Geno Smith is the second best quarterback in the NFL. And I'm putting my hat and cock and balls and shoes and everything on that. He looks really, really, really good. And we just need him in a primetime game, which he gets to come to Detroit next Monday and do that. Maybe my whole tone shifts, but right now, youngest head coach in the NFL. They've unlocked DK. Kenneth Walker's still been hurt, and Geno just looks like he's turned it up a notch. He's been a 7.5 quarterback. He looks like he's cooking at a 9 right now. And that's just an arbitrary scale that I made up.
It's out of 10? Or
I think so.
Okay.
Maybe, 10.5.
10.5?
10.5's that extra gear you can go. Yeah,
super confusing.
It's going to get more confusing.
Yeah.
Next, give me the Eagles. I called them beating the Saints, bringing them back down to earth. And the thing I really want to point out here is how fucking smart I am. I picked Saquon Barkley to be the offensive player of the year, and he just went out for 404 scrimmage yards and 5 touchdowns. Does that sound good? He averaged 5.6 yards a carry and ended the game with a 65-yard touchdown. Are those good numbers, football fans? Yes. He's unreal. He is unreal. Sucks what happened to Devontae Smith, but Dallas Goedert also caught for 170 yards. This defense is super sus. Nick Sirianni is super sus. Ayo, pause on Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, pause.
But wow, this offense is really, really, really dangerous with Saquon on it. It reminds me of better times when we had Nick Chubb. Come back, Chubb. One more week, baby. Let him loose. All right, next one. Give me the Lions. Gutsy fucking win. Amazed. The best play of the weekend. The hook and ladder. The Ben Johnson hook and ladder. I don't know who was talking about it. I want to say it was maybe Bill Simmons' boys. That's a Ben Johnson just asking for a head coaching job. Hey, check this out. Someone pay me a bunch of money and I'll be a head coach because I can draw up shit like that. That's in the second quarter on the goal line. You draw up a hook and lateral to Jahmyr Gibbs.
That was a real Boise State move.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Just unreal.
Like a college football play in an NFL game is fun.
Yeah, Jared Goff looked back to form. 8 for 8 to start the game. They have so many weapons. Sucks what happened to Laporta. But shit happens. You got to deal with it. To go into a steaming hot Arizona Cardinals house and win that, gutsy fucking win. We get them on primetime against the Seahawks. Big time test next Monday. Number 3, the Chiefs got to move down. They're not number 1 anymore. Like I said earlier, Patrick Mahomes has the inky winky. He averages like 4.4 yards per completion. There's something wrong in this pass game. Something severely wrong. Andy Reid's calling triple motion, 4 men down, flipperoo, throw it between your ass and squeeze it out your mouth kind of plays when you don't have to do all that. I think they're undefeated. They have the best player in the league, but there is something broken here that needs acknowledged, and I think they've been really lucky. If it weren't for some terrible Falcons play calls on back-to-back, potentially game-winning drives, I don't think they win that game. Number 2, give me the Bills. That game last night. Woo! Holy shit. What else can you say? Unless you were someone who bet on Keon Coleman to have 4 receptions, and he was benched for the first half, which was interesting, wasn't it, McDermott? All right.
He had a touchdown.
Yeah, 1 catch. I should have bet him for a fucking touchdown. It wasn't me.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I benched him in fantasy, and he scored his first touchdown.
He did have a touchdown. And
Still won.
He hit that steamy little dance.
Yeah.
Josh Allen does look like the MVP we kind of called. I know I just picked Patrick Mahomes, but I said I picked him on the back of him going 17-0, which is still in the cards. They look electric. They spreading the ball around. I loved all the Shakir motions, and that first drive was like fucking music on your worm. It was just everything worked. You finally get to see Kincaid get back involved. James Cook looks really, really good. He looks like a top 3 back something right now, especially the way he catches the ball out of the backfield. That defense, those corners are really underrated. They're shutting people down. Buffalo's scary. It's always a hostile environment to go in and play, whether they're good or bad. And then when they're cooking like this, good luck. Number 1, it's got to be. This might be the only week you get it, but holy shit. What else? What are you going to do? They beat them. This was in all facets of the game win against the Texans. Special teams, defense, offense. Aaron Jones gets rolling. They're still waiting on 2 of their best offensive weapons to come back. When they get Hawkinson and Addison, you're getting into the territory like in basketball when you win 10 games in a row without your best player. You worry about the integration back into it. But the way Kevin O'Connell's drawing shit up there is unbelievable. The way Brian Flores is drawing shit up there. He was just hired this year, and that defense is just tricky, schemy, hiding, disguising, flipping, and doo-dah. And another place, partially why I have those 2 at the top, is those home field advantages are just huge. And I think some of their harder games were earlier on for the Vikings especially, and they just cooked teams. And they've gotten better and better and really fucking good against the Texans. So that's it for this week.
Wow. I cannot believe ours are the most different they've ever been.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah. I'm excited to get mine out there because of that, but I can't believe the Chiefs moved down 2. I thought maybe they'd go 2-2.
Yeah.
But to 3?
To 3, man, because the Bills look so good.
Yeah.
And the Vikings look so good. Those qualities of wins at home against quality opponents, especially in the Texans. But like the way they won those games and just beat the fuck out of other franchise quarterbacks, really.
Yeah.
And not that Kirk's not, and Kansas City was a nice road win, but it's just, I don't know. I think something's wrong there.
I will say I like your Falcons pick because that did look like 2 playoff teams playing. It didn't look like, the Falcons are frauds and went and lost against like an underperforming Chiefs team. Yeah. I think it looked like a battle that would happen in the playoffs.
They had a chance there twice at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. All right, let's pull mine up. Let's get into it. Number 10, I got the Seahawks. There's no denying that this team is undefeated. Okay?
Correct.
They have consistently outscored their opponent. Every game, the Seahawks have scored more points than the team they're playing against.
Yeah.
Week in and week out. So far this year, and here's a crazy stat for you.
Yep.
Every single game so far this year, the Seahawks have scored more points than the team they're playing against.
Yes.
I can't bring myself to care or think that they're all that good.
Yeah.
I disagree with your Geno Smith take big time.
Okay.
I think they look good at times.
He's on sneaky MVP watch.
Okay. Well, the sneaky
Shout
MVP,
out Ankush.
The sneaky MVP watch right now, it's just Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, TJ Watt, and maybe Andy Dalton. All right. Number 9. I got the Texans. They just got stripped down and licked by the Vikings.
Holy shit. The Vikings like doing that.
Yeah.
Historically.
Yeah. They like stripping people down and licking them. Yeah. But here's the thing about the Texans. I think the Vikings won that game more than the Texans lost it. I know it was a blowout.
Yeah.
But I do think that the Texans are a really good team who just weren't ready for the defensive scheme that Minnesota threw at them, and then they got too far behind, made some mistakes. It just like never came together for them, but I think they're a really, really good team who will consistently compete towards the end of the year. And I think Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs are legit weapons for CJ Stroud. So
and they were without Joe Mixon. So
yeah, he's missing Mixon big time. I think he's missing that. They didn't have a run game in that game. Totally. So, all right, 8. I got the Lions. Okay.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Disrespect!
I know they just won, but I think they've been playing bad lately. I don't know why nobody's talking about that. They did not play well against the Cardinals.
Not in the second half.
I don't think they played well overall. I think, I will say Dan Campbell came back and coached a better game than he did against the Bucs. He made the improvements they had to make there. Sam Laporta went out. He's going to be back next week. He's day-to-day right now. Derek Barnes is out for a significant amount of time now. I just don't think Amon-Ra St. Brown looks as elite as we thought going into the season.
Bullshit.
There's just something in the air in Detroit right now. And I think, the Seahawks are Lions killers. It's going to be a tough one next week.
Can we go?
It's 9-2.
Can we go?
Yeah, let's go. We can go to the game. But yeah, they're 9-2 in the last 11 meetings of the Seahawks and Lions. I think the stat's something like that. But yeah, so the Lions, I don't know. They're on fraud watch for me. I like them. Obviously, go Lions. I'm just saying they don't look as great as I thought they would look going into the season. All right, 7. What happened to the parade?
What the fuck?
What happened? They have one ugly loss. They have one bullshit game. A total bullshit game where Sirianni's experimental coaching just absolutely could have lost them that game at 10 different points. I think that Carr had one off game. That's what I think happened. I think the Saints are still quite a good team. I think they're going to continue to beat people. Okay? I'm not giving up. This isn't some sort of like sexy late summer fling with the Saints, okay? I'm trying to go on a few more dates. All right? I like you, New Orleans. Okay? Let's get it back out there. The great top to bottom team.
Did we curse them with gumbo?
I don't know if we cursed them with anything, but I do think that we're kind of back to square one with the Saints where we're thinking, hey, that's a great squad over there, and maybe their most average play comes from their QB.
Yeah.
And Derek Carr looks so good in the first couple weeks that now it's like, oh my God, he's the MVP candidate and shit. Really, I think they just got a great squad, and they had one off game against a weird-ass Eagles team. That is the weirdest fucking team in the league. I'm sorry. I've just got to say it. It's a weird-ass team. All right, number 6. Speaking of.
Okay.
God, this team is confusing. I don't understand watching this team at all. They're terrible on defense. Sirianni is literally like doing some sort of ambient side noise project with coaching. He's like calling the worst 3rd and 4th down plays I've ever seen a coach call. Saquon is an MVP candidate. Yeah. Jalen Hurts looked amazing last week in their loss, looked weird and off in their win. I don't get this team, but they're pretty good, I guess. I literally don't know what to say. They look good because Saquon's great. That's what's going on for me. All right, 5. Let's see. Here we go.
Holy fucking hell.
Now, here's a crazy stat. In the first 3 games, the Steelers have outscored every opponent that they've played. They've scored more points every single time.
I didn't know I was fucking playing with Adam Silver or something.
What about Adam Silver?
I don't know. Who's the stats guy?
Who's the stats guy?
I don't know. It's you now. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Big stats guy.
Thanks, man. Justin Fields looked like he's getting a little comfortable there. I think like that offense was obviously the question mark. They couldn't really score points. And now they're starting to score a little bit. They're not like a fantastic offense, but they do have a brand. They have an identity like you were talking about. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I think once Justin Fields, this is the thing, people are forgetting, Justin Fields can throw that rock down the field.
Yeah.
He hasn't been able to do it. They've just been kind of like he's been sitting in the pocket a little bit more, but he can kind of scramble out there. He's making short completions, and they're doing what they have to do to win those games, mostly on defense. But I think once Justin Fields kind of has that green light and can hit George Pickens down the field, then we're looking at a team that's a legitimate threat. And so I'm starting to believe a little bit in the Steelers' hype. I do think they've played bad teams, and I'm excited to see them play some good teams and see what they really look like against them. But for now, their defense scares me, so I'll put them at 5. Yeah. All right. Number 4. Now,
what?
I know. Okay, I know they're 1-2. They just lost a heartbreaker to the Rams. But a lot of you didn't watch that game.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy looked unbelievable in that game. Like, damn near perfect. It just didn't shake out how it shouldn't. It was like special teams and defense lost them that game, and it was a close one. He's playing without Debo. He's playing without Kittle. Ayuk might as well be in the locker room. He's just Jawan Jennings. I think the Niners are the best 1-2 team we've seen in 5 years. Like, that team is really, really, really good. And I think they're going to continue to. Here's what I call them: the alternate reality Chiefs, where they lose the games. They look better than the Chiefs right now to me. but they're losing the games instead of winning them. That's what's happening. So I got the Niners at 4, and I think that's going to age well. I know it looks ridiculous this week because I got a 1-2 team above 2 3-0 teams, but it's fine. That's what I think's going on.
Shanahan, you're a fraud.
I don't think he's a fraud at all. I think they're going to win. They're going to win the next 4 games probably. So whatever, it doesn't matter. All right, number 3. I got the Vikings here. Okay.
Skull.
I don't know. I think I'm going to be vulnerable and say I think the machine's got some gas left in the tank.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I do feel like, here's the thing. I did the whole thing with the Saints. I put them really high in my power rankings, and then we saw what happened. They lost. I couldn't help but have that gut feeling like, am I doing this again? Am I giving into this hype?
Yeah.
Am I is this another parade that's going to die down? But they, top to bottom, look more complete.
Yes.
And they don't have their weapons all the way back yet.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as Sam Darnold continues to play like he's been playing, or at least close to that, they're going to win a lot of games. And I think people have to start taking him seriously. I know it's, they say 4 weeks is how long it takes for every team to kind of get and watch film on every team. And you start to see what teams really look like when they're able to coach against each other with more information. And so I don't want to jump the gun here, jump the shark, jump the bus, jumping jacks. But I'm going to say that the Vikings are one of the 3 best teams in the NFL right now. All right, 2. I thought about it. Couldn't do it, though. Yeah. We did it last year with the Chiefs. They were 11-6 at the end of the year, 10-7. We all were like, oh my gosh, this team's not that good. No way they make it to the Super Bowl. They were dogs all the way through the playoffs. The Chiefs win ugly games. The Bills, as soon as Josh Allen's freaky white guy cleat hits the field, it's 14-0.
Freak.
It's 14-0 when he steps on the field. It's insane.
He's a freak.
They look absolutely unstoppable. I don't have a flaw to point out in this team right now other than they just faced a really bad Jags team. So what can we really take super seriously? And Josh Allen is throwing his body around. He's throwing his freaky white body around. He could get hurt. I don't want to learn the Buffalo Bills backup quarterback's name. I don't want to have to do that.
You know him. You love him. It's Mitchell Trubisky.
Oh, Trubisky, yeah.
He was supposed to be here today.
He was supposed to be here?
Mitch.
Did you call him a bitch?
No, I said Mitch.
Oh, Mitch Trubisky.
Bailed on us.
Yeah, okay.
No, he's going to be on vacation all year.
Yeah, well.
We saw him last night.
He did garbage time. I didn't watch the end of that game. I was watching that Commanders-Bengals shootout.
Mac Jones got in the game, and he looked like he was holding a greased baby pig.
Oh, he fumbled it up?
Right away.
Really? Oh, my god.
Someone said, and he went.
Wow. Quick sidebar. Do you think Malik Willis gets a starting job next year somewhere?
Yeah, he should.
Yeah.
This is what you do as a backup. You go in, you win some, unless Pittsburgh's willing to pay him big money to back up a mobile young quarterback, but he's so young. He's
Pittsburgh, behind
Packers.
Packers, yeah. Okay.
Sorry. That's my bad, guys. Hey. Green, or yellow. The yellow confused me.
It's orange.
Yeah. But he's so young that I feel like he doesn't take a vet backup role. He's got to go somewhere and compete for a job. Get him to New York.
To New York? Oh, the Giants.
Yeah.
I was like, the Jets. I was like,
the Giants. Let him compete.
Aaron Rodgers drank baby blood, and he's going to be around for another 5 years. All right. Hey, number 1.
The Chiefs.
Whatever. It's the Chiefs.
Andy Reid doesn't concern you?
What do you mean?
Because he's so big and stoic.
I was saying when we were watching the games, they could use the same clip of Andy Reid every time they cut to him, and nobody would notice because he has the same expression every time.
Spags is the most excitable, one of the most interesting coordinators to watch. He's always down on his knees. He's yelling, running the sideline, and Andy Reid is just...
No, it's literally like this. He looks like a cartoon character. It's super weird. I don't really know what's going on with that, but it doesn't matter. I don't know.
Great list, man.
Listen, the Chiefs right now are 3-0, and I know everybody's saying this, but I will say it as well. Imagine what this team will do when they play well.
Right.
They're playing like shit and winning the games.
To my ugly wins matter mantra that I love to say on here, I had that thought coming in. I was like, God damn it, they're 3-0 with ugly wins.
Yeah.
If you not luck into, but if you can fucking grind out some really hideous W's like that, those are what make the difference between the 10-7, 11-6, and then teams that can get to 13, 14 wins. Like those teams, the 14-win teams, 13-win teams have won 3 to 4 really ugly ones.
Yeah, definitely. Or it's the difference between being contending for the playoffs and getting a playoff spot like the Browns did last year. Yeah. They won an ugly one against the Colts. Yeah. Probably shouldn't have won that game. Looked like shit in it, but still won. And nobody remembers that, you know?
I do. I was in Vegas.
I mean, I remember watching it with you, buddy, I could never forget that. But the only concern I have about the Chiefs right now is just Patrick Mahomes had a few throws that he just didn't even look focused on, like threw it in the dirt, weird throws from Patrick Mahomes. He looks a little bit off or different this year. And he did, he got up gingerly after kneeling. Yeah. If you hurt yourself on a QB kneel, that's bad for your team. But at the same time, I can't deny the Chiefs just probably going to be the number one team in the league this year in the regular season.
I love their ability to manicure young running backs, to groom them. Yeah. They groom young running backs into talented players. Oh. Connor Steele is one of my favorite players in the league right now.
Oh, I liked him a lot, but I thought it was really funny that he skipped his sister's wedding to be at the game. And then they just kept trying to get him in the end zone. Yeah. And it was like on the 3-yard line, they ran twice and he couldn't get in. I felt bad for him.
What if his sister's a bitch and he didn't want to go, whether he was in football or not?
I guess I didn't consider that. Yeah. I try to focus on what happens on the field.
Here's my notes about your list, Riley.
Oh, okay.
Lions defense is legit. They went into Arizona and shut down Kyler Murray, who that offense you did a late sexy summer fling with the Cardinals last week.
I did.
And then the Lions D went in there and shut them down. Kudos to them. That was a big question mark. As if that defense is actually good.
I picked them to win. I said Aiden Hutchinson can catch that mouse in the house down south.
Enough.
All right.
Saints D. I like that you kept the Saints on the list because the Saints D just held what I think could be one of the best offenses in the league to 15 points. Yeah. They did spit on Devontae Smith as he was unconscious. It's not a great sign.
Well, the bounties are back. That's all it's going on. It's bounties are back. Yeah. And that team was good when the bounties were there. So I don't agree with it morally, obviously. No. Of course not.
That defense looks really good, and I do think it'll make them legit. But again, the ultimate problem there is always going to be Derek Carr. He's going to let you down, Saints fans. Get off the wagon and jump into the Gulf of Mexico. Shanahan might be a fraud. That's why I took the Niners off. He comes out again with this beautiful first half scheme, and he gets out slick-dicked by his arch nemesis, Sean Slick Dick McVay.
I mean, yeah, he got out-coached.
And he continues to blow leads in the fourth. He's done it in the Super Bowl. Yeah. He's done it in the playoffs. He's done it in the regular season time and time again. And yes, he is a genius, and I do think he's arguably the best coach in the NFL, but how many times can you do this in your rivals, your divisional arch rival's house? You have to lead the whole game.
All right, I have 2 notes about this, okay? One, if you made a list of the best quarterback coach combinations for a 2-minute drill at the end of the game to come back, Matt Stafford and Sean McVay are in the top 3. Yeah. They know how to do that, and they did that. They did it against the Lions. The Lions almost lost that game, okay? Now, the other thing I'll say is that we are getting to the part of the season where people are playing divisional rivals, and those games are going to be ugly, and the team that's 0-3 is going to beat the team that's 3-0. Yeah. It's going to happen within the division. They know each other. Those games are always going to be close. I think that's what happened here, just a little bit early. I don't
want to fight, man.
I'm just saying, I think that the Rams just squeaked one out. The Niners are
still... Atwell grabbed a 50-yard bomb. That was lucky. I didn't see that coming. Yeah. But I'm just saying, the questions have to be asked when you keep blowing fourth quarter leads and we keep calling you the best coach.
Nobody's calling him the best coach.
People call Shanahan the best coach all the time.
I know, but it's hard to do that when Andy Reid is still coaching.
Andy Reid isn't coaching. That's a mannequin.
I think it's Andy Reid.
That's a wax figure.
I'm pretty sure Bill Belichick is ghost coaching the Panthers, they're saying. Started this week.
I hope so. I hope Doug Peterson gets fired and Bill gets to retire in Florida just like Tom did and bring a Super Bowl to Jacksonville. Storylines for another day.
Save the franchise. That's what it would do.
That's this week 3's power rankings. I'm Graydon. This is Riley. This is Cheap Seats. And Grant, can I get one for the road?
Come on, the Browns.
Please.
Come on. Please. I'm glad we didn't have to talk about that much today. Yeah, please. All right, we'll see you in the next one. Roll it, Tony.
Bingo, Smith. I'm ripping up the paper.